what are some of the major key takeaways for you?
I think this is a very well organized conference, and I think the kind of topics that are being discussed here are very relevant for the current legal industry. And I also feel that the variety that we have in topics and the experts that are here, I think it's a very good occasion to discuss the nitty-gritties of each aspect which are
But
relevant.
any key takeaways from the subject you discussed?
So, well, my panel is yet to come. It's in some time.
Okay, and what's the topic for that?
This is on changing landscape of key M&As.
Oh, understood.
So,
When we talk about technology and it's applied to every sector, irrespective of what's happening in which sector, there's a lot of intervention from AI and a lot of intervention from advanced technologies, generative AI sometimes. How do you look at client confidentiality when it comes to data protection sometimes? How do you look at it?
okay, so there are two things to it. One is how technology is changing things, and the other is how we look at the confidentiality aspects. So, of course, technology is bringing in huge change, and the kind of impact that it will have on legal industry is colossal. Every aspect of the legal practice is going to see transformation. And I'll not be surprised if there'll be a lot of efficiency that will be brought in by AI. And client confidentiality, of course, is a separate issue which has to be protected at any cost in our profession, because this is something which is of paramount importance for the client as well, because they trust a lawyer, and the lawyer-client attorney is anyway, it's of extreme importance, not only for the client but also for the attorney.
Good to know. Do you have any take on how ESG is shaping up and how it will somehow take a great part of the pie when it comes to economic policies in near future?
Yes, so ESG is acquiring greater significance now. If you'll see the trend that we are witnessing in M&A space, a lot of foreign investors, it is an essential ingredient for them, essential condition for them to invest in any company. So all the investee companies have to abide by those ESG policies, and that's something which is non-negotiable. And we are seeing this increasing trend in India, where matters related to ESG are acquiring significance. So yes, I'm very hopeful that this will acquire greater significance in the days to come.
In some way, we also on a panel discussed mandatory mediation, and a lot of space it's gaining momentum just because, majorly in contraction. What's your take on this? Because when it comes to mediation, it has come out really expensive. What's your take on this?
So there are two things to it. It is mediation in India is yet to become a force to reckon with, but as a concept, I think it's a good concept, because it will be comparatively cheaper. It will also give one extra layer for the parties to resort to before approaching the courts formally. And as you know, everybody wants to avoid courts and arbitration, because that in a sense also becomes a legal process. So now mediation is a non-adversarial way of resolution of dispute, which is extremely important. And I think in contractual disputes and contract enforcement, it's a good step. And I think Supreme Court has also suggested time and again. There's a Mediation Act also which has been brought in. All the sections have not been notified yet, but as a concept, it's extremely important. And I think everybody in India is looking forward to it, because in the long run, it's going to have a huge impact on the way disputes are resolved and enforced, contracts are enforced.
I agree. Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for joining us.
Thank you.